Hey, what's up everybody? Jake here and welcome to the hobby. In today's video, we are talking about rampant market speculation. Did I have an impact on the market? Because right after I released a video talking about how shaky and volatile the market can be, you can see the price on the Umbreon tanked from $1,700 for an ungraded copy down to $1,200 for an ungraded copy, and it's still going down, so I don't know when it's going to bottom out. But that's very interesting that we're seeing this scenario where within just a couple of days the Umbreon has dropped by $400 or $500 in terms of value on a single card. Very wild. The graded market is a little bit different. It looks like for PSA graded copies, they're still going for right around $3,000. So that has not changed. It's only the ungraded card market that has really changed. And if you're curious what kind of tool I'm using today, we are using Collectr, which is my go-to source for tracking pretty much anything related to Pokemon cards or any of the prices that you're seeing in today's video. Collectr is my go-to source. If you want to keep your Pokemon cards or your whole entire trading card collection tracked somewhere, I highly recommend you try out Collectr. They have an amazing app that allows you to easily scan all of your Pokemon cards and add them to your portfolio. It's super easy to do it, and you can even track Magic the Gathering cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Pokemon cards, obviously, Lorcana, One Piece, whatever you name it, they currently allow you to track it. They also have an amazing showcase where you can see other collectors who just have their collections currently tracked on the Collectr app. Someone like Pokebeard is on here with $300,000. I'm sure this single energy card is making up a huge portion of Pokebeard or Tucker's collection. You can also see my whole entire complete collection. I'm nowhere near as large of a collector as Pokebeard, but not bad. So if you want to roast my collection and see every single card that I have inside of my collection, you can see it all. The crazy thing is, just watching my portfolio grow over the last couple of months, I'm someone that's a little bit more hesitant in the current market because of how volatile it is. And I think my collection's value is around $114,000 just a couple of months ago. And we're currently at $154,000, even though I really haven't added that many cards to my collection, which means my entire collection's value has gone up by $40,000 when I really haven't done much. In fact, I've probably done more to hurt it by adding and inserting so much skepticism to the market right now. The purpose of today's video is to really talk about market speculation right now, because as you guys can see with the Umbreon VMAX, it's dipped in price. And people are saying the train on the Umbreon VMAX has officially left the station. You're not going to make any more money on things like the Umbreon VMAX or any other cards inside of Evolving Skies. We're just using the Umbreon VMAX as an example of cards from Evolving Skies. It's just the mascot of the set. But right now, people are looking at two major sets to speculate on, and that is Journey Together and the upcoming Team Rocket set. Those are the two sets that people are speculating on next. So people are simply saying, hey, Journey Together is going to bring back a lot of fan favorite trainers back into the hobby, so those cards may see a rise in value. And the crazy thing is, their prediction is coming through. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy. What is happening is people are simply saying, hey, this card might go up, I should pick up a copy now. And because they're doing that, and many people are doing the exact same thing at the exact same time, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy where they make the card go up by simply believing that the card will go up. So here we have the Solgaleo and Lunala Tag Team GX. This card came out, I think, in Cosmic Eclipse. Yep, right there, Cosmic Eclipse. Thank you so much, Collectr. And you can see the price on the card. PSA 10 copies of it were going for a steady $300 for throughout all of last year. And at some point during January, when we got a bunch of news and hype for Journey Together, suddenly the card decides to spike up $800. And obviously, I'm going to tell you right now, $800 is a terrible time to be picking up this card, because very likely it might see a dip in the upcoming months, especially when the hype for Journey Together really starts to fizzle down. You're seeing the exact same kind of scenario for the ungraded copies. Same with the Reshiram and Zekrom Tag Team GX card. Really cool card. You can see the same scenario where it saw a massive rise and spike, and it's already seeing the dip. Journey Together is not even out yet, and people are already over speculating on this card. It reached a high of $600, and now it's back down to like $450. The ungraded copies is still climbing. Who knows? We could see a dip in the upcoming days, but you can see how rampant speculation is right now. It's so incredibly volatile. And then we also have ourselves the cards that are related to Team Rocket. We got ourselves Giovanni's Exile. Now this card is really, really crazy. For the longest time, this was a dead full art trainer card. Most male full art trainer cards just don't do that well, especially for a card like this, which is readily available. There's just a lot of copies of it out there. You can see it's floating around $1.50 for most of last year, and suddenly, boop, it shoots up like a rocket up to $18 a copy, and now it's just starting to fall back down to $13. This is a true scenario of someone or a group of people, whoever you want to call it, buying out the market. This is one where someone out there literally spent probably a couple $1,000s, maybe more or less, and picked up every single copy of Giovanni's Exile that they could find. But this isn't a card that isn't that crazy. This is not a card that if you have a copy of inside of your collection, you're gonna wow anyone. And you can see if you have a copy of this card, you should probably unload it onto the market right now. You should probably sell it because you had a card that's going for $1.50 and now it's worth 15 bucks or so. In that scenario, if a card goes up 1,000% in the course of a week, a lot of people are going to be opportunistic and try to sell it to card stores or vendors or whoever else, because they can use the TCG player price and say, hey, this card's currently worth 13 bucks. It just became $13 worth of value within a couple of days. I'm going to sell it. And that's what's happening. And you can see this massive dip. And the person who's market manipulating this, right? The person who's buying it on the climb, they probably don't have these cards yet inside of their collection. These cards are probably still being shipped to them and they're already starting to lose value. So it'll be interesting to see if this card goes back down to like $1.50, because that's just another lesson of how the Pokemon card market is a real challenge to manipulate when people say it's so easy. So here's another scenario, the PSA 10 copies. Oh yeah, if this person also picked up like the PSA 10 copies, you can really see it climbing really, really rapidly. The pristine TGC 10 copies. It's funny because they're a flat line, but the PSA 10 copies are now going for upwards of over $200. So pretty crazy market manipulation for a $30 card to go up to $210. But this is just an example, again, of rampant market speculation right now. Same with the Giovanni's Charisma. Exact same scenario, just a spike in value. And this is just speculation. And these are cards that I would say are extremely risky to pick up, especially at their all-time highs. I would not be picking up any of these cards right now, no matter how gorgeous they are, just because the risk is so high. Another card that's related to Team Rocket, obviously Jesse and James. Really cool full art card. This card was going for around $10 for all of last year. Really solid full art trainer card to add to your collection. And suddenly it's a massive like 500% spike up. Same with the graded cards, spiking up like crazy. Another card that's related to Team Rocket is obviously the Mewtwo GX, aptly named for being inside of a test tube. Very cool card. Saw a recent rapid spike again from 180 bucks going for closer to $300 now. It could see a price drop. I see a BGS Black Label copy, which is worth $9,000 compared to the PSA 10. This is where you're truly called buying a label, because if you're buying a BGS label, you're buying the card for the label rather than for the piece inside. Let's see how it looks once you remove the black labels. Once you remove the black label, it still looks like a skyrocket from $1,000 for a PSA 10 at the start of December, going for well over $2,000 by mid-January, and you see a little bit of a dip now, and it looks like a kind of flat line at $2,000. But these are cards that people are simply speculating on. People are saying, hey, this is a card that might go up in value because of upcoming sets, right? Because Evolving Skies cards jump so much due to prismatic evolutions, people are saying, okay, what's the next set that's going to come out that's going to make other cards jump up in value? So Journey Together and the Rocket set is causing a lot of these adjacent cards to really, really climb in value. Another card, Armor Mewtwo, really cool card. I think this card is pretty readily available even in ungraded copies for the longest time. And now you can just see it's starting to go for right around $100 raw, which is actually pretty wild, because this card came inside of a lunchbox tin just a couple of years ago. And that lunchbox used to go for $25 at Target. And this is a card inside of that lunchbox. This was only a couple of years ago. It wasn't even that long ago. That's wild that this card is going for this much. And you can see the PSA 10 copies were going for right around $400 for the vast majority of the year. And at a certain point, right around November, it starts jumping up to $800. A little bit of rocket hype right there. Jumps up again during January to $1,000 and jumps up again. Now it's currently going for right around $1,300. Very, very wild jump in value. But this is just speculation. People who are picking up these cards are buying them because they are simply expecting the value of these cards to go up really, really fast in the next couple of months. And so those are the kind of people that are going to unload those copies rapidly onto the market when they think the hype is over and cards start dumping in value. This is how you get a scenario where, like this Umbreon, you know, $1,700, and it just sees a massive drop in value. And usually Collectr is a little bit behind by just a day or two because they're combining so much data from other sources. So they're actually behind. For all I know, this card could even be cheaper right now, which is really, really wild. And a lot of people will say like, hey, why do you think these cards can drop in value so rapidly? And a part of it is because they used to be cheaper just a couple months ago. So it wasn't like that long ago that the Umbreon VMAX was $2,000 or $1,300. If you go back just 4 months ago, the Umbreon VMAX was $1,500. So at no point in time do I see that scenario can't occur again. If a card was worth $1,500 4 months ago, it can be worth $1,500 today. The market does not change that significantly over the course of 4 months that a card needs to double in value, right? Could it go back down to $2,500 a copy? Could it go down to $2,000 a copy? I think that's much more likely. I think $1,500 is too much of a drop. The Umbreon VMAX could go back down to $2,000 for a PSA 10 copy because we were at that point just a month ago. It wasn't that long ago, guys. It wasn't like this was years and years ago where these cards were that cheap. It was that price literally just a month ago. So that's what I'm saying when I say like, hey, I would not be buying cards when they're at their all-time peak. And that's just scary. So I would not recommend doing that. Prismatic Evolution's prices is still pretty much flatline right around $100 in ETB. I really wish it was going to go cheaper, but right now I don't see Prismatic Evolutions going for much lower than $100 in ETB. And that's mainly because of how expensive the cards are inside of the set. It's really hard for the packs to drop in value when there's so many expensive cards inside of the set. There's also a couple of other cards I wanted to check out. It was specifically the Greninja EX as well as the Kingdra EX. These two cards have been seeing quite a bit of a speculation as well. It used to be an $8 promo card, and it just starts climbing and climbing and climbing in value. Everyone thinks it's super cool. If this card was a chase card inside of Shrouded Fable, I do think Shrouded Fable would probably be an A tier set at the very minimum. Really, really cool card. This one would easily be a $300 or $400 chase card inside of Shrouded Fable. But it's not there because it is a promo card that's available inside of a premium collection that could still be restocked in stores for the next couple of months or even till the end of this year because it's a new product. You never know when the Pokemon company's going to add more stock of it. But for a brand new promo card to be at $40 is really wild too. And you can just see recently it just saw a dip between January 29th all the way down to February 3rd. It dropped by around $10. So that's pretty huge. And the other one would be the Kingdra EX, the counterpart, which I think the Kingdra EX looks way cooler than the Greninja EX, but unfortunately, I think Kingdra doesn't have the same level of popularity as the Greninja EX, but same kind of scenario. It's an $8 promo card, saw a massive spike up to $30, and it's starting to decline. As the market cools down, like you can see how quickly prices can just shift up and down right now. Who knows like how far this could drop back down. I could see it dropping back down to $20, even $15, as a lot of stores are holding on to copies of this card. I probably know a couple of stores that have 50 to 100 copies of these Kingdra EX from them just simply breaking down a lot of Shrouded Fable boxes that did not sell through. So some stores who are holding on to a bunch of copies of these are going to be cashing in and they're going to be selling on the way down. So it's kind of a race to the bottom. So right now, these are cards that I would avoid. Pretty much any card that I'm showing in today's video that is climbing in value rapidly. And a lot of these cards I own. So I'm telling you guys, avoid the cards that I have inside of my collection. Twist that however you want. But I know that these are probably not going to be good purchases for you as a collector when they're at their all-time high, because that's just not good value for you guys. So I have the Giovanni's Exile. I would say don't pick it up. Actually, you know what? Because this card is so incredibly affordable, the only reason I'm saying don't pick it up is because I don't want you guys to promote this level of activity. But obviously, this card is so cheap. If you can pick it up for $5 or $10, it's not going to hurt you at the end of the day. It's not that big of a deal for that one. But realistically, any card that has gone from being a $13 card just a couple of days ago to being a $40 card right now is a card that I would not be picking up, because that card could see a dip any day now. So pretty wild state in the market. A lot of speculation regarding Journey Together, regarding the upcoming Rocket set, which we still know so little about, but people are already speculating this hard on them. Super, super risky market. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know what your thoughts are. And if you want to track your collection, highly recommend you try out Collectr, as I've showcased in today's video. Just some of the useful tools that they have available to them. See you guys next time.